Hi, you're all DSP Mechanic, yeah? Right, I'm back in my comfort zone, back where you all know me. Started this run of chassis legs I've got now. I've got this one in, this very nice guy's come all the way from Ireland to have us do this. This has previously been welded, and look at the state, right? I've just undone the rear bolts on the subframe and undone the front ones. And bear in mind, he's already paid somebody to do the chassis legs on this. Not on wheel bearings now. So, yeah, he's already paid someone to do the chassis leg on that. So I've undone them bolts, and that one just fell out. Lovely. And it looks like the tubes actually fell out. I don't know if you can see that. And that tube is the one that actually supports the chassis leg. So, yeah, I shall update more as I cut. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be finding a lot more. And then we've got this lovely Mark 4 in, brake discs, brake pads, calipers, and Alden's just doing major service, dropping all the oils out of it. Say hello, Alden.
Hi, folks.
And our Tigger's been running backwards and forwards to the phone all morning. He's gone crazy. Don't stop. So anyway, like, share, follow. Come and see us on the 22nd of Feb, before Expo. Catch you later. Second video in as many minutes. So I'm just going to show you why I always insist on doing a full cutout when doing these, and I don't usually just do front face. The bottoms is where they go, so there's nothing there to push off, look. So bear in mind, he's paid somebody good money to weld this already. I know you've heard me say that before, right? There's a little bit there, right? But I'm trying to get this back edge apart and just get the bar in. I mean, that's actually going in. It's in the chassis. Dangerous. And you can see where it's been welded in the past, right? But they've just welded round the bump stop. There's a hole there, look. Shocking stuff. And that little slot there, that's just where I've just been poking a screwdriver in and just gone like that, just to see just how crispy it is. So I'm going to end up taking this hard flyer out and going further forward. But isn't it scary what people will do just for a few quid? So yeah, I'm expecting all the welding that they've done on this to need redoing. I shouldn't be shocked, but it baffles me what people do. So I'm going to get on with dropping the subframe down a little bit. Hopefully I'll get away with not taking it completely out, and I'm going to start cutting. So see you later. Oh, you know, it's DSP. Last video for a little bit before I actually get properly stuck into this and get it cutting apart, but I've got to show you. So the people that he's had weld it, and yeah, I mean the welds was quite tidy where they'd done, I'll give them that. But Captain Overplate, granted they've used a decent gauge steel, but you could use 15mm steel and it's still going to rot behind you. This is why I don't do overplates. So that's their layer. That outer one there, that's their layer. And then you got them three are the factory layers that are sandwiched together. And that's what happens is how it balloons out in the middle. So it doesn't matter what you slap over the top, you're never going to stop that rust unless you cut it out and replace it. But the issue we've got now, because it's been covered over, this has all got to be cut out completely because the bottom's gone. And the bottom, what's the point of having a strong front if you've got nothing to support the subframe? And the subframe is what supports steering, suspension, brakes, engine, gearbox. It's all tied into this subframe. I'm sorry, it just gets me so angry that people will do this. And this guy's just drove this like this from Ireland. It beggars belief. You know, one good pothole, which there's plenty of them round here. You know, somebody pulls out in front of him and he has a bit of an accident. It'll just crumble. Just crumble. And not the good crumble either. Because we like crumble, don't we, boys?
Rhubarb.
So, I'm convinced that's going to be the same. And we wasn't going to do the front chassis leg on the other side. But after a little bit of a conversation with the guy that owns it, we've decided that we're going to cut a couple of inspection holes and have a look. If it don't, great, we'll just weld the moulds back up. But I'm convinced it's going to need chassis leg both sides now. And I'm also concerned about the welding on the rear. But we'll cross that bridge later on. So
When we cut it out.
yeah, when we cut it out and redo it, yeah. Oh Christ.
Best order another 300 cutting disc.
Yeah, well, probably I'm running a bit low. It's just scary. It's just scary. That's the safety of the vehicle. When people say, yeah, it's too far gone and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're too far gone when you're going to do stuff like that. I mean, it's just covering it up. Anyway. What can I say? Like, share, follow, drop a comment, catch you later. Oh, you know, DSP. I know I said I wasn't going to do many more videos until I got it cut apart, but I got to show you. I just got to show you. So, we saw this bit, choppy. Nothing really left there to chop. They go whoop into the chassis leg, see? And I still can't figure out why that won't drop, so it must be welded onto the back edge. And if you see in there, look, you can see what overplates do. Fuck all is what they do. Because they've just overplated over rust there. And I dare say that'll come apart. But the reason I've decided to do another video is, what do we have there? Expanding foam. So yeah. Expandy foam, we got dirt, we got rust. That's the bit that I said when I undone that bolt, and that bolt, that collapsed. And you can see why. Because the inner structure's just not there. It hasn't got an inner structure. But if I get a screwdriver and go stabby, we can extract the expanding foam. Oh dear. And you got there you go, there's the entrance hole, look. From inside. So, better mind he's paid somebody to weld this up, look. Yeah, we can't be asked to weld up there, so let's just fill it with expanding foam. They'll never know, because how would they know? How would they know? They'll never know. Oh, no. Look at the state of that. So, I did wonder what all this gunk was down here. See all that? I've scraped at it a few times and thought, what is that? And I reckon it's just because they've just blasted it full of expanding foam and then just put as much under seal over it as they can. Nasty. And if I know the guy that's having it done, somebody's going to get a slap. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, like, share, follow. Come and see us at 4 Before Expo, 22nd of Feb. Oh, you're all. DSP Mechanic. It's been a long old couple of days. It really has. But we're getting somewhere. We now have a chassis leg. Look at that. And it is an actual steel chassis leg. Red oxide on the end of my hammer now, look.
Silicone not required.
There is no expanding foam in there at all. How about that?
All bathroom cook.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be quite confident of that going and doing whatever he wants to do now. It was dangerous how it was before. I mean, the chassis there had actually broken. Go back and look at the old pictures. It was just terrible. Absolutely terrible. But now, it's solid. Done the top of the arch as well, because it was scabby. It was split down there. It was broke. It was covered in Sikaflex. Solid. So, yeah, done. I've not painted the back end of it, because I can't be asked climbing under there. So we'll do that when I've spun it round and under the other side. I can get it a bit higher in the air. But that's it. We're going to call that a day now. We're going to go and wash the hands and then get some rest, eh? Yeah. For about 10 minutes, then it's back to work, isn't it?
It'll feel like 10 minutes.
But 22nd of Feb, keep saying it. Come and see us, Stafford Showground, 4 Before Expo. Good day out. So we'll all be there. I'll be there. He'll be there. Jez, Nigel. Come and have a laugh. Come and meet us. Come and have a cuppa. So,
Looking at a name, Mike.
yeah, you can breathe easy now, Mike. It ain't gonna fall apart on the ferry.
One down.
Well, 1 down, yeah, 4 to go. So yeah, like, share, follow. I'm going home. Catch you later. Hey, you're all DSP Mechanic. How do you like them apples?
Too far gone, it never shows.
Yeah. So we've got new brake disc, new caliper, wheel bearings all cleaned and greased, new pads, new ball joints top and bottom, new steering rack end, new track rod end, new camber bushes, new camber bolts. Should be a different car to drive. Now what we're going to do is the other side. Yay! But then we're going to start working along the sills. Then we've got to have a look at the back ones. Because whoever welded this in the past was a clown. Well, con artist, whatever you want to call them. But we'll have it right. We'll get it there. And Uncle Jezebel, he's just about finished on this one. He's remanufactured the step. Done a nice job of that. Bit of body work on this this wheel arch here. Nice job of that. So Vera's about ready to go, isn't she, mate? There you go. Been a good old day, productive day, ain't it, Olds? Yeah, it has. Look at him. All he needs is a fishing rod, doesn't he? See this, Jen? Just needs a fishing rod. Hang on a sec. Hang on. There you go, look. He's our little gnome, look. He's our gnome from home. Anyway, we're all going a little bit crazy here, so we're going to call it a day, I think. So like, share, follow, drop us a comment. Catch you later. Morning all. DSP Mechanic. Thought I'd do a quick video, just say hello before we get started, show you what we're doing. So this one, the Black Raptor, still with us. She's past MOT now. Literally just waiting on front ball joint spacers to turn up. And that one's ready to go. Oh, and EGR's plate, but there's a couple of little bits. But the main reason for the video, we go around and grab a torch. And I'll show you this. You've been watching me do this one for the last week. Well, Saturday I had the owner here. Oh, excuse me a second. Right, so I had the owner here with me. And we already knew we was going to cut an inspection cover on the passenger side chassis leg just to have a look how bad it is. Because it's had welding done on all four corners. And you can see it's scabby. So we thought, we'll have a look. You can see top edge is ballooned. Yeah, top edge is ballooned. So we cut the front face off and that's what we've got. You can see where it's been welded along the bottom edge. You can see we've just put a hole there. Subframe's been welded to the actual chassis leg. Why, I don't know. So, much the same this side, we're going to do it all again. We're going to chop that one out and weld a new one in. I know I make that sound easy. It's not. But, you know, it's not outside of my wheelhouse. We've done a few now, we know what we're doing. But, the rear, I asked him if I could cut an inspection hole in the front face because I didn't trust the welding that had been done. Even though it looks quite tidy, yeah? Looks alright. Pass an MOT, no problem. No problem at all with that passing an MOT. But just looking at it, there's a few things that just throw me off. The spring cup welded to the chassis leg. I don't know if you can see in there very well. If I pop the phone in, you can see bolts missing out the spring cup. Oh, what have we got there in the middle? We have a hole. So alarm bells were ringing. I don't trust the person that did the work. So with permission of the owner, we cut an inspection plate, and that's what we found. So the actual inner structure, the main chassis leg, is rotten, right? And that should go all the way back to the back. Look at the state. So yeah, use decent grade steel. Yes, the welding's tidy. There's no doubt the guy can weld, but there's no strength in that. That's literally putting all the strength through onto the outer layers. These are triple layer for a reason. So you've got the inner layer, which is your main structural chassis leg. Then you've got the outer layer, that sort of like supports the rest. And then you've got the one that supports your spring cup. So you can see that's bent back because it's not had any strength up there. It's just nasty. So we're going to end up cutting that one out as well, doing that again. Shame. And I'm pretty sure the other side's going to be the same. I mean, obviously we'll cut an inspection hole before we start. But you can see that's actually been plated all the way up to the top of the wheel arch. And I know for a fact that's going to be fun to get off that spring cup. Hopefully I can save it, because that's welded all the way around. Again, don't know how well I can show you, but get it there. We've got 2 bolts, bolt missing, and he's been plug welded on. Not great at all. You know, the poor bloke spent thousands of pounds having this welded up, and that's the work he gets. Just overplated and covered up. But that's mine. You've seen the progress. If you want to see what's inside it, go back and have a look at the previous videos. It's all 3mm steel. Yeah, it ain't the prettiest in the world, but I'd put that against anything. That up there will fail before that does, or further back. So let's crack on, eh? More of the same. So come and see us 22nd of Feb, next Sunday, Stafford Showground. We'll be there, 4 before Expo. Come and say hello. And like, share, follow, drop us a comment. See you later. Oh, you know, DSP Mechanic here. I know I've done this video hundreds of times, but it never fails to amaze me what people are prepared to clear up and cover up. So this is that chassis leg I did a video on this morning. I've done front face, under the subframe, and just give it a bit of a clear up. And he's had overplates on the bottom, on the tops, on the sides. Look at the state. So that's this is the strength of his chassis leg. All the way along, it's just gone. But this is the issue with covering stuff up. The only time this would have been found is if it was ever involved in a collision, and God forbid it ever was. There's literally no strength. I mean, that bit there, that big hole there, they'd actually welded along the edge of the subframe there, but they just still bolted. So, I mean, it's just disgusting. You see where they've welded the subframe there? Just because they, I don't know if they didn't have the skill or just they couldn't be arsed. It's because they didn't do it properly. So, yeah, nasty. You see there, hole in there as well. Just nasty. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. All I can do is cut it out and replace it, but don't overplate stuff. It's not good. It's not big. It's not clever. Like, share, follow. Catch you later. Hi, here, it's DSP Mechanic. Right, somebody's commented on the last post asking me to show with it all cut out before I start welding. So this is it. As you can see. So all the crust is cut out now. I've got it back to what I'm confident is good metal. This little bit here on the front, I was going to leave that in there like that and just weld from there. But if you look at that, layers are ballooned. So we'll take it back to there. I'm quite confident that'll be fine. I overlap it slightly, do a bit of a weld underneath, bit of a weld on top, covers both layers. I'll have a piece welded to there before I close off the top. That'll be welded inside and out. Again there, I've got that piece cut now. Hang on, if I just swap hands because I'm doing this caggy-handed. That piece now will overlap at the back there slightly. Overlap like that, and then the front there lines up with that, sits on there. And that slight overlap allows me to get weld on the inside and the outside. That'll have a beader weld run around that bottom edge, run one side, and then I'll put a series, if I can get into balance there, put a series of holes in, and then you'll basically plug weld it up. A couple of plug welds there, a couple of plug welds there, just to make them as strong as we can. And then I'll make another piece that goes from that front section to meet there. So again, there'll be a liner weld on inside, plug welds, and then we can basically go from there. Once the back's welded in, then I can make the bottom edge. Once the bottom edge is welded in, then we'll start that again. Once the back edge is welded in, then I'll bring the subframe back up into position where it needs to sit. Because we know this tube here is fine, this edge is fine, so we know that'll bolt up to there. That will show me where the bottom edge sits. Then we'll put in our crush tubes, then put in the top edge and close it off. So yeah, that is it, cleaned up, panels made before I start welding. Like, share, follow, drop us a comment, catch you later. Morning all, DSP Mechanic. So I'll show you this. We're getting on, we've got the pieces cut now for the ends. So that goes in there. Got that mark for the hole. Put a captive bolt in the back of it, same with that one. But the reason for the video, I just wanted to go over a couple of things that I'm seeing quite regular in the comments. First one, is it worth it? Well, maybe not to you, but to the owner, yes. And this is a discussion that we have all the time. It might not be worth it for money value, but these cars, they've got like wicked sentimental value. There's always a story to them. So if it's not worth it to you, that's fine, that's your opinion. Just don't put your opinion onto other people. It's not what we do. We're not here to judge. I mean, some of these cars, they spend big money. They could buy a brand new car for them, but it's not what they want. What they want is their pride and joy repaired to the best standard possible, and that's what we do. So that's that one. The other one, I've seen it asked a few times, why don't you just put a bit of 50mm box, or why don't you get a prefabricated piece? Question I see a lot, and to be fair, it's a good point. But every one of these repairs is different. Like this one, I've cut to there. On the other side, it was cut way back there. Same with there. Good metal there. Other side, it was back there. And you know, there's never two the same. So where do you have the prefabricated piece made to? One, you've got to find somebody prepared to make the prefabricated piece. You've got to find a good pattern to make it from, which is virtually non-existent now, unless you're going to cut it out of a good car. What's the point of that? And I like being able to get weld on every last little bit of surface. It's like, if I just whip this off here, I'll show you what I mean. That's why I make the back in two pieces. So, let me show you. It's easier to show. So, the back in there, that there supports top wishbone, and that is tied in to the upper rail and the lower rail. That plate there goes right the way down to the very bottom there. Now if I made a prefabricated piece, the only place I could tie that in is along the top, maybe along the bottom. But if you look in there, you can see where I plugged it. I've still got to plug it on that one. Granted, I forgot there, but you know, I've just reminded myself. I'm only human. But that's easy enough, we can do that now. But you can see it's welded all the way along, all the way on the seams on the inside. Not only that, if I did the suggestion of why don't you put a piece of 50mm box section, well that actually sits about an inch lower than there. You can see the curve down in it, look where it drops down. So how would I get around that? Put spacers in. I just prefer to make them. It's easier. Cut it, shape it, weld it in. Easy, job done. Done lots of them now. I could pretty much do these in my sleep. Quite often do. I lay awake at night, shaft leg. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, just wanted to go over them. It's just easier, you know, rather than people keep asking the same questions. And the other one, the question I see a lot, and it bugs me, is how much does that cost? How much does that cost? How much is that spending? I wouldn't want to be paying that bill. Well, sorry love, you're not paying that bill. It's none of your business. The money side of it's not why I do the videos. That's between me and the customer. If you've got one that you want repairing, give us a call, drop us a message, and I'll give you a rough idea of price. But I don't put the videos out there for the money side of it. I put the videos out there to show people what's going on, you know, what people are doing with the bodges, what they're covering up, why you shouldn't overplate. You know, expanding foam isn't structural, fiberglass isn't structural, Sikaflex isn't structural, duct tape isn't structural. So it's more about the work than the money. I mean, obviously I've got to make money, I'm a business, but that's not why I do the videos. So if you want prices, please give us a call, give us a text, drop us a message. I'm quite happy to give you prices, but keep it out of the videos. And what people pay often depends on how much they have done. Like this guy now is having all 4 chassis legs. We've got bits of paintwork to do around the rear arches. I'm probably going to end up painting the whole bottom half because he's got sills to do. There's a lot of work. So with having a lot of work like that, I can bundle jobs together and do a better price than if, say, I was just doing 1 sill or 1 chassis leg, because I've got to make my time worthwhile. But like I said, that's not why I do the videos. I want to keep the money out of the videos. So if you get a bit of a rude response when people are asking for money, I apologise. I just don't like it. Because money's awkward. I don't like talking about money. It's one of them, innit? So anyway, I'm going to crack on with this. This Sunday, come and see us, 4 before Expo, Stafford Showground. We'll be there. And let's all send our Jeremy hugs and kisses, because he's at home in bed. He's not very well. So let's hope he makes a swift recovery for Expo for Sunday. So like, share, follow. Catch you later. I'm going to get on. Oh, you know, DSP Mechanic, yeah? I'd like to say it gets better, but it never really does. So we're back on the Irish Delica. And oh man, it blows my mind at what people will do. So we'll start here, right? Outrigger doesn't look too bad, obvious overplate. And so you look at this side. Let me see if I can get the light in a position where you can see. So you can see there is split, and up there's a gap big enough I can get my fingers down in. That's got to be an inch wide away from the original outrigger. And then there, you can see it's starting to split and come away. Look at the state of that. Right. So there's going to be no strength, no structure behind there. You can see it's starting to crack along there. So I'll be interested to see what's behind. Listen to body filler. Just sounds hollow. So I didn't know I was getting into that, but we're obviously going to be now. But remember the video from that. So that one was the one that I cut with the owner's permission. That's all going to be cut out. And when I'm stripping these, normally, one of the first things I'll try and undo is the anti-roll bar. Well, it appears somebody's already had to go and done it for me. Because whoever welded it last left it off. Didn't even bother. You can see they've snapped the bottom bolt in there, which is fairly standard. They normally, how long do you normally take to drill them out? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
If I get to them first, I normally just eat them up and wind them out.
Yeah, but when they do snap, it's a 10-minute job to drill them out and sort them. But there, they haven't even bothered. They haven't even bothered putting the mount points back in. Just like, yeah, sod it doesn't need stability. You know, why would you need an anti-roll bar on something that's 6 foot wide, 8 foot tall, and handles like a boat anyway? That's just disgusting. Spring cup has all been welded. Well, I say all been welded. It's been welded where you can see.
Been welded where it's from that to that.
Then we got bolts missing in it. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting workmanship. So I'm going to get that stripped now, and I'm going to put it right. I'm pretty sure I've got an anti-roll bar in the yard as well, so I should be able to reinstate that. But jeez, what will people do, eh? So anyway, if you want to talk about it, the funny fact is we're at 4 before Expo this Sunday, 22nd, Stafford Showground. Come and see us, come and say hello. I've got some merchandise, so some merchandise has arrived today, so buy some of that if you want. You don't have to, but it all helps. And like, share, follow, drop us a comment. I'm going to crack on with this. Catch you later. There you go, DSP again here. I've got to show you this. Look at the state of that. So this had this plate, and he was just welded in over the top like that. Let's not worry about what the condition of the actual structure's like. Granted, acceptable grade steel. I'd have probably gone 3 mm instead of 2. But yeah, let's just completely ignore the fact that the actual chassis leg itself is, you know, disintegrated. Let's not bother tying anything in. Let's just cut little bits out, and I don't even know what they've done. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And dangerous. You know, rather than having all these multiple layers for strength, it's literally relying on that piece of 2mm that was on the outside. I'm lost for words, seriously. I know I see it all the time, but every time I see it, it just shocks the living hell out of me that people will do this standard of work just to earn a few quid. Wow. Anyway, I'll crack on. Thought you'd like to see that. How you doing, mate? I thought I'd show you this as a bit, yeah. So this is passenger side, started stripping. Obviously, you may have seen the video earlier of the bottom edge. If I grab my grips, I'll peel him back, show you a bit better. So, you can see inside there, original chassis leg just rotten, just gone over the top. I initially thought this side was okay, it wasn't too bad. I thought it was just going to be the bottom edge. But we've got all this up here is actually tied the wheel arch into the chassis leg. Yeah, that ain't good. So I'm gonna have to pull carpet up inside for this side. A little bit more complicated, but I've got to do it for fire protection because we don't want to set fire to it, not after everything that we've done. Because that there, behind that, that's the inner wheel arch. So that bit comes down behind there into that. So what I'm probably going to end up having to do is cut this out to back, probably from there to about there. Then we're going to have to repair the chassis leg properly, which is going to run from there all the way across, and then we're going to have to build the wheel arch in back on top of that. Bit of a pain in the arse, but it's all doable. It's nothing, yeah, nothing I'm scared of. Just letting you know, a bit extra work. All right, mate. Oh, yeah, DSP Mechanic. Just thought I'd show you where we got to with the Irish Delica today. Not much because I've had a few other things to do, but we've knocked a hole in it. Most of the crust is out. I'm cutting back a lot further than this because all this is the crap that past guy's put in, and I don't trust his welding anymore. Initially looked good, but the bits that I've seen have had no penetration, so it's all coming out. So we've got this crap out here cut out, which was that bit there. Let's see how many layers we've got there. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 over plate. And that's up there like that. So that's out. That's done. And then what he's done, what I think, he's made like a U-channel to just wrap around and go up over the chassis. And he's welded the spring cup to it first. And then just left like that bit of rotting, which is scary considering the bit that he's welded to at the back there has got no structure to it at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm basically going to cut him up to about there and go all the way across. We know that's good metal, not much ballooning. And then we'll make all that, we'll reinforce all that, we'll put it back into bolting properly. Got 2 bolts there, but he's still welded it along there because I think he's welded it to the bit that he was wrapping around first. So we'll put that right. Hopefully by end of play Monday I should have it somewhere near done, because we're not in tomorrow because we've got prep for 4x4 Expo. So come and see us at 4x4 Expo. I'll be there. He'll be there. Hopefully our Jezumi will be there because he popped in a bit early. He's looking a bit better. But yeah, that's where we are. That's where we're at.
If that's what you call better, I'd see what you say with this.
Well, he was up and standing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's alive.
He's alive and kicking, yeah. So I'm going to get bits in the trailer now. I'm not going to do any more cutting today because of fire risk and whatever, because I ain't blasting a plasma cutter at it to leave it over the weekend. So like, share, follow, come and see us Sunday. Catch you later. Hey up, DSP. We were a little bit tired today after the show yesterday. Good show though. Good day out at 4x4 Expo. So thank you to everybody that came and saw us. It was a good day when it holds.
Enjoyed it.
So, but I thought I'd show you what I've been up to. Today, I'll be mostly sticking bits of metal together with a hot metal glue gun. Yes, and she's looking mighty strong for it too. Shall we show you how strong it is?
You're rattling.
Yeah, what's that say there, look? With focus. 40 ounce. Ready, ready. Yep. I'd say that's pretty strong, wouldn't you?
The floor's attached to where it's supposed to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, that does help that the floor is actually tied into the chassis now. And the chassis is tied into the chassis, not the wheel arch.
Nothing applies from the approximation.
Because the idiot that had done it before had actually welded. So the chassis, you've probably seen the video, it was rotten all the way along there. But rather than repairing that, they welded a piece from there down to about there and just covered it. But now we've got brand new all the way back to there. We've got a new bit there for the spring cup, raced across, new piece going all the way across the bottom, tied in across the front, tied into the floor. So now I can build the wheel arch back up and make that watertight again. And then we can do the bottom chassis rail, loop it over, call it done. Yay! So we're getting there. We're getting there with the Irish Delica. There's a few other bits we've got to do as well, but once this is done...
The outriggers and the sills.
Yeah, but the outriggers, the other side needs doing, but this side I think's alright. The sills need doing. Bits of paint, I mean this was only done a couple of years ago. That all needs redoing. Trouble is it's just painted over rust, as you can see there.
How many holes were in there?
Yeah,
All
so
of them.
it's never going to work, but my concentration at the moment is to get it structurally sound. So if the guy turns around and says, look, I need my car back, at least it's structurally sound. We've got an anti-roll bar, we've got one of them sorted, because as you may have seen or may not seen, whoever welded it before deleted the rear anti-roll bar. Why, I don't know, but he did. Laziness, I suppose. But I've got spring cups coming, I've got anti-roll bar connections, we've got an anti-roll bar in the yard, so we'll have it back, Then we'll go to the brake pipes, get the brake pipes sorted, start putting it back together. So I think we broke the back of it now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, on the homeward straight. It's been some work, this one. Been some work. But yeah, that's that.
Then we can go back onto Rusty Bongo.
Yeah, Rusty Bongo, yeah, as well as all the other chassis legs we've got to do. But I'll show you the other stuff that we're up to today. Alden's just been doing the finishing touches to this one, the black Delica. Wrapped to black.
Tracking back.
Nice bit of kit.
Belly button back, one thing's done.
Nice. So yeah, that one's that one. And Jezebel's been tackling the cam belt on this one, which has been good fun. Because whoever's been in there before put so much glue on the inside of the pulleys that they've been an absolute nightmare to get off.
I like this.
And we've had to get them off because the front crank seal's leaking. But we took the water pump pulley off, look, and just found, yeah. Let's make sure the pulley doesn't fall off by packing it with belt. No wonder it was leaking. I bet bits of that have gone in behind these seals as well. So, yeah, lots of fun to be had, and we're enjoying it. We're all tired, but we're still enjoying ourselves. So, like, share, follow, catch you later. Afternoon, folks. DSP Mechanic, yeah? A momentous milestone for the Irish Delica. 4th chassis leg done. Whee! She's solid now. And she's got holes in for the spring cups, holes in for anti-roll bar. I'm going to slap some red lead on it in a minute when it cools down. Because as you can tell by the heat line that's going round it. Yeah, we got some proper heat into that. So, then I cool down a little bit. Then I'm going to slap some red lead on. Then we're going to get the spring cups out, because I believe that's the spring cups. And start slapping it back together. Yay! And then we can move on to the other jobs. But I think I want to put it onto that ramp for doing like sills and stuff. Well, I might do the sills in here. I don't know. I ain't decided yet. I haven't made my mind up. Not enough tea today, so my brain's not working properly. Hello! Jezebel's putting this back together.
Yeah.
Because he was going to put it back together yesterday, but we realised that we didn't have the cam belt kit.
Well, we had a cam belt kit, or a box that looked like a cam belt kit.
But it didn't have a cam belt in.
Just totally wasn't.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to do a cam belt when you've not got the cam belt. shock it
Bluetooth
down.
cam belt?
You could try a Bluetooth cam belt, but I don't think
I
it'd
think
run
it'd
very
go
long.
clatter clatter on than fucking brum brum.
But we've heard worse, haven't we? We've heard worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's that. And Aldrin's just wiring in a top hose temperature gauge into the binnacle on the top of there.
Oh yeah.
He's having lots of fun with that. You can tell he looks happy. He always looks happy, doesn't he?
He is happy.
You'd be happier if you had tea, though, wouldn't you be, Alden?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let that cool down. Like, share, follow. Catch you later. How are we doing? DSP Mechanic. Just want to show you where we're at before we pack up. We're just getting stuff put away. I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up before we go any further. Because there's bits of metal and bits of shrapnel everywhere. And I mean everywhere. There's probably about 1 million discs on the floor in pieces. It's been a challenge, this one. But chassis legs are all done now. See, back together. We've got anti-roll bar drop links. We've got springs in position.
Never mind anti-roll bar drop, please. We've got an anti-roll bar.
All seam sealed, not yet. Anti-roll bar's still on the floor.
Is it?
Yeah. So yeah, chassis legs done that side, chassis legs done this side. Springs are back in, she's self-supporting again. So yeah, we're doing well. Now, I've not put the anti-roll bar on yet because I want to clean under the ramp first. Because there's lots of sharp bits of metal. Lots and lots of sharp bits of metal. And you can see I haven't got much in the way of height, so I've got to be on hands and knees to get in and out there. And I don't want stabby knees. And we've got to remake this brake pipe because that one twisted coming out. There's the 2 brake pipes that go down there that I noticed when the chassis was out are really crusty. So they're going to have to be done. But to do them, we're going to drop the fuel tank. They're always fun, aren't they?
Yes.
So, yeah, but we've got rear discs to do, rear pads to do. So I think tomorrow's focus is going to be getting it off the ramp, getting under that ramp cleaned and cleared, and then get the mechanicals back together, get the anti-roll bar on. I know there's a little bit of repair to do on the actual axle where the anti-roll bar goes up to, but it's neither here or there. We'll get all that sorted tomorrow. So, yeah, we're making waves, and then once that's done, we can do sills, which are no big deal. I've got the outrigger on the other side to do. Again, no massive deal. I'll do them in my sleep. Then we can get all the paintwork tidied up and get it somewhere along.
Don't make a perfect flare on the brake pipe without putting enough on through it.
Yeah, there is that one. So, yeah, pack up now, because we're all tired. We all want to go home. We all want to have beds and go to sleep and have a cry.
But it's been amazing!
But we got Jesse back. He's all better. So yeah, like, share, follow, drop us a comment, and I no doubt I'll see you all tomorrow. Hi everyone, it's DSP Mechanic. The more I work on this Irish Delica, the angrier I'm getting with it. And it's not angry at doing the work. Don't care about that. I like the work, I enjoy the work. It's angry for the owner, and angry at the... I'm going to be nice. Angry at the person that welded it last. I could call a lot worse names than that because this is disgusting. Not him, that's Jezzy. Jez ain't disgusting. We like Jez. But look at the state of this, right? So I've got all of this cut out. Well, say all of it. All the plates that he stuck over with, I don't know if it's silicone, Sikaflex, whatever it is. But because I've got no structure in the outrigger, at the back there, I've just started cutting that off. So we've got the piece that they've welded on over the top of another plate that's already got a hole there. Look at the state of that. That is absolutely disgusting workmanship. And again, at first glance, it doesn't look all that bad. Yeah, it would have passed an MOT. MOT is just minimum standard anyway, so it doesn't really fat lot. But there's no structure there, there's nothing there behind it. And that ties in the drop legs for the rear bars. That stops them flexing and twisting. Gives strength to the van. This thing was a death trap. Absolute death trap. And I'm sorry, I'll argue that with anyone. If this was in a crash, it would have absolutely just folded like a crisp packet. But you got... Let's see if I can get this off without cutting my finger open. It's about ready to break, that weld is. we've got overplate there. There we go. But the thing that gets me, right, they've used decent steel. So why not just cut it out and do it properly? I'm sure it wouldn't have took all that much longer. And then you've got another overplate there. There you go. Nothing there. No strength at all. It's just absolutely disgusting. Oh, it boils my piss, it really does. And not in the way that I've got to do the work. I don't care about the work, I enjoy the work, I really do. And I'm not just saying that for the camera. You know, this isn't just a job for me, this is a hobby. I love putting stuff like this right. But when somebody's took somebody's hard-earned money to do stuff like that, you know, the bloke that owns it ain't rich. He ain't no millionaire. He can't afford to just throw away money like this. But I couldn't live with myself sending that out on the road. You know, you've seen what I do with the chassis legs. All right, I've got a red oxide up the inside of them and back side of them. Now, stick your head under here, Jez. You ain't seen this yet, have you?
No.
You'll see it from this side, this one.
Yeah.
Just chopped out, you know where we said the outrigger looked all right?
Yeah.
I've just chopped the piece off the back of it.
Yeah.
And have a look what was underneath it.
Oh God. Why?
That's my thoughts exactly. But look. There's literally nothing there.
Where's all the inner structure?
None of that upright's there at all.
Oh God.
Bad, isn't it?
So she's lost the integrity of that whole corner's out.
Yeah, I mean, right up there, right up to the wheeler.
You can see the drop plate that's supposed to be there that links into the lower inner sill. The inner sill support's missing.
But look how many layers you got there. You got that piece there. 1, 2, 3, 4 overplates there.
Wow.
And every single one of them, somebody's took somebody's money to do.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It really does make me angry.
That
Not
is
for me.
frustrating. You keep saying this needs to be legalised. So
Not
people can
angry
just
for me.
actually, you know.
I'm angry for people doing this. Like Jez has just said, I'm a big advocate of this trade being licensed. You've got to take a test. You've got to pass an exam. You've got to pay for a license.
It's like if you do it with like MOT, you get a licence, you get a certificate, you do stuff wrong so many times, you get points
struck
and
off.
you get struck off.
Yeah.
Because that's just there's no logic to it.
None
at all.
It's something's got to happen because you know you've got to be licensed to fit gas. You've got to be licensed for electrics. But any idiot can pick up a welder, a spanner, you know, an impact gun, and work on a car. All right, I know these ain't the quickest things in the world. They're still capable of 100 mile an hour, and even at 65, 70 mile an hour, it's a 2.5 ton barreling down the road.
You try stopping one of these going into a bus stop full of kids first thing in the morning because something's let go.
Yeah.
You just don't bear thinking about.
It's disgusting.
It really
Absolutely
doesn't.
disgusting.
I mean, I'm from a motorbike trade, and each motorbike's a loaded weapon.
Yeah.
Treat them as such.
Yeah.
But these are just exactly the same.
But anything like this is a loaded weapon.
It is.
And doing that, covering that up with bits of tin that are just stuck on with bits of what looks like Sikaflex. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting, carry on cutting it out and make it good. That's all I can do at this stage. So, like, share, follow, drop us a comment. I'd love to hear what you think on this one. See you later. Told you it wouldn't take long before you saw me again. We got that plate there. It took off. We've got a big hole. Still got the rubber grommet in. That's nice. Gives it a little bit of water protection for the metal that isn't there. Now, we just got along this one. This is a nice one. Watch this. So I've not done any cutting along the top edge. I've just sliced down the sides. Didn't even have to cut the bottom. Just give it a little bit of a pull with a screwdriver. Look at that. Look at the state of that. I mean, oh yeah, we've got a free nut, look. Why have we got an M10 nut inside the sill? Okay, random. Oh, look at, oh my word. But that's your structure there, supports the step. Oh yeah, it's been wax oiled. Look at that. Wax oiled on top of rust, I don't know why. Oh jeez, look at that. And you can see See the bits of wire sticking through where they've actually welded onto that? Why piece and plates onto rot? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that's going to be interesting now because that panel goes up and behind the door. So I may end up having to take the side door off this. Yay! There you go. Off. So, it is what it is. Let's keep pressing on, eh? Hi, you're all DSP Mechanic here. I just spotted something on this Irish deli while I'm draining the diesel out. So I've got to pull the tank down to do those brake lines there. They run. Hang on, let me get my bolt. So them crusty brake pipes there, they run all round and they come round and sit up the back side of the tank up there and they go right the way to the front. So I'm taking the fuel tank out, draining the diesel. But anyone with a deli, in fact anything old and Jap tends to have these, under your gearbox, have a look, see if you've got that on there. I like to call them the Window Smasher 3000. It's a harmonic dampener, it's supposed to take out vibration, but they're just bonded on. And it is a solid lump of metal. You'll never notice any difference with them not on there. See how easy that was to take off? And that, you don't want that going through your windscreen. And the way the law is, if it falls off your car, you're liable for whatever it is. So, worth having a climb under and having a check. There's another one that normally sits there, you can see that's already gone. And there's one on the panhard rod that goes across the back. But that one on that gearbox there is a big bugger and he's heavy. So yeah, worth a look. Just a bit of advice. Here's it. Hi all, DSP Mechanic. I'm in my happy place underneath a Delica. So the Irish Delica saga continues. We've got anti-roll bar back in there, look. I had to completely remake the brackets to the axle for the anti-roll bar to bolt up to, because they were a bit crusty and crispy. I don't know where the ends have gone, I'm just looking round. But yeah, I had to cut them off, weld new ones on with new threads. She's in, she's done. So we got the tank out, move on to the next job, which was doing these crusty brake lines. And they go all the way along there, right the way up to, you can just see the joins there. So we're going to do them, but while we got the tank out, we thought we'll give this still a bit of an inspect. And one of the jobs was step being loose, because every time they stand on the step it moves. So you can see she's not really connected very well there, which means that bracket's going to be rotten. I don't know what they was thinking there. All right, I know they haven't got the tank out, blah blah blah, but at least make some sort of concerted effort. I'm pretty convinced that the sill will be rotten behind there, because that normally sits proud, so that's definitely on top. And then we come to this. So oh yeah, we don't need any bolts in the step bracket. Yeah, okay. That one's nearly broken off. That's rotten. The one at the front is broken off. So you can see all the load is just being put into the wrong places. So that's my next job now. Then we're going to cut that out and we're going to see what's behind there. Any guesses? I'm going to guess there's rust and lots of it. So I'll do another video in a bit. I'll show you. But like, share, follow, drop us a comment. Catch you later. Hello, DSP Mechanic. Now I know I said give me a couple of hours. It's been a bit longer because I've had a few other little bits and bobs to do. But that is the way an outrigger repair should look. So he's cut right back up past the bad metal into the good metal. He's welded all the way around. It's tied in on the inner, tied in on the outer. Got a lower edge. So yeah, that's the way it should be. So now I can get on with doing what I started doing this morning and get that little support piece there, get that tied back in, and then we can get the sills back on. Making progress. So like, share, follow, drop us a comment. I'll see you later. Hello, DSP Mechanic. You see that little bit of cherry red there? That marks a big milestone in the Irish Delica, because that is the end of the welding. I've got a couple of little tiny bits of bodywork repair welding, but I ain't counting them. But yeah, that is the end of the repairs. We got there, we did it. Woo! Yeah, I'll show you the little bit that we've got. Just that tiny little patch there. But like I said, I ain't counting that because that's just going to be a quick snip, snip, cross, and that's the double. That's easy enough. We may have a couple of little bits up in this when Linish them back. But as for the actual repairs, welding done. Welding fini. How about that, eh? So now we can move on to doing linishing, body working, get all that body worked in, get it out once it's primed, give it a good wash, because there's no way I'm going to try and match paint when it's looking like that. So once all that's done, I've probably got a day or two in linishing back. Probably going to have to get the slide hammer on, pull bits out, tap bits back. It's all meh. But yeah. Oh, and I've got to go slice along that bottom edge of the grinder just to reduce that lip down, get it into something like. But we finished welding. Means my eyes might have a few days to recover.
And the wall art up.
Yeah, we put the wall art up as well. That was my test panel. What I'm going to spray my Shogun. Cool, eh? So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you because that's happy days. So like, share, follow, drop us a comment. Catch you later. Hi, all. DSP Mechanic. I'll show you where we are on the Irish Delica. I'm hoping this is the last of it. So did that yesterday, that corner there, the inners and the up the back. So today, go do all that, and then all of that, and then all the way to about there. But if I'm going to there, I might as well just go to there and just put new sills in all the way up. We've got the inner, and to be fair, we can't blame the moron that welded it last time for the inner, because it's just, yeah, it's just crusty. That's quite a commonplace on them. What we can blame the moron for, though, is that. Let me see if I can get the camera up there. I'm at a bit of a funny position. Hang on, bear with me. I don't know if it's a grizzly bear or a polar bear, but he's a bear. There we go, look at the state of that. It's disgusting. So I've got to cut that pretty much that entire outrigger out and start that again. At least he's got some structure up there. It's not connected to anything, but there's some structure there. And I guarantee there's nothing inside there. Look at the state of that. So that outrigger's got to be redone. And this cell made me laugh. So we cut that out from there. And then it was like, okay. Doesn't look like original sort of shape. Oh, look at that. So we've got, what is it? There's 1, 2, 3. I don't even know what that's doing. We've got a little bit of spot weld there, a little bit of spot weld there, a little bit of spot weld there. Body filler. Because why not? We've got everything else. So yeah, crunchy. So the only place that's going is in the bin. And then the joy of doing this side is though, you've got the heater box out, but you've got to take all the interior panels out because of that puppy there. That foam may as well be soaked in petrol. Oh, we've got red oxide up there as well. What's gone on there then? Okay, I'm going to have to investigate that. Yeah, so just having a look. We've got a burn hole or something inside the panel. Weird. So yeah, that foam's all got to come out because, like I say, it may as well be soaked in petrol for how quick it goes up in smoke. Talking from experience. But luckily the one that they set fire to, we was ripping it all out anyway, so it didn't really matter. But no damage was done. No damage was done, so that was all good. But while we've got the heater box out, which is over there, I can't wait to get this bloody thing off the ramp so I can sweep all this mess up as well. But while that heater box is out, we're going to be gutting it and doing the diesel heater mod, which is a fantastic mod for these. Because what you do, you've got that one there is the inlet for the diesel heater, so we'll plate over that and box that off. All the wiring will be cable tied up inside the panel. And then that one is the outlet for the diesel heater. And what we do is we run the pipe work from the diesel heater into that, and then all the hot air actually blows through the original vents. Fantastic mod, really nice. And on a frosty morning especially, and where this is, it's quite a cold part of Ireland. he'll be able to just go to his bedroom window when he gets up and go, blip, turn his diesel heater on. And then by the time he gets, you know, gets down to get in it, it's going to be nice and toasty inside, 20 degrees, lovely and warm. Got to be done. We like doing that mod. We've done it a few times. So yeah, that's basically where we're at then. So I'm going to get that all cut out now. Go up and pull them foam bits out. And hopefully I can get this somewhere near finished welded today. If not by today, it'll definitely be finished welded by the end of the week. And then we can move on to body working then. And get rid of the bloody thing. Love it really. We've got it with me. So yeah, like, share, follow, drop us a comment and all that gumph. And I'll see you later. Hi all, DSP Mechanic. Second video of the day. I just thought I'd show you this with the Delicas. Common thing with them. So they always rot around the edges of the arches, like a lot of old stuff of this era. Down the bottom of here. Same bottom of the sills, edge of the arch. Pretty much everything I'm doing on this. But this is why. People will go in and they'll repair the edge of the arch. No problem. Usually do a nice job of it. And then give it 6 to 8 months. It starts bubbling and starts rotting again. And that's usually why. Because not many people will go in and do the inner. Now that, couldn't even see, because it had, you know, dirt and stuff stuck all over the top of it. And what happens is, obviously, dirt, mud and stuff gets in from behind. If I show you that up there, you see, normal road grime and stuff collects in the lip, and it just rots it out from behind. And that's what happens. Holds the dirt, acts like a sponge. You see, look. And it just rots them from the back. So, it's a good idea when you're washing it, just get your hose pipe up there, just rinse up the back of there. Bit of an old brush, old yard brush will do it, just the head off an old brush and just rub it behind there. Just a little bit of advice. Choose to take it, it's up to you. But I do it with mine regular. So, yeah, just put it like that. Morning all, DSP Mechanic. Hopefully, we're towards the end of the welding on the Irish Delica, but it's still been a knob and throwing up extras. Because that bit there, I don't know what the fuck they was thinking there, excuse the French, but that was the bottom of the wing. Like that, look. If I get the camera on where we're actually filming, it might help, hadn't it? And you can see that bit there had no attachment to that bit there. Now, I've got that piece running, but he's not welded in yet because I've still got to clean this up and clean up this bit of outrigger. And I knew we've got a bit on the back of there. If you just poke you through there, you can see we've got a bit of body filler there. So I'm going to have to cut that in a bit of outrigger out as well. But I start chopping him and I'm like, yeah, there's a bit more there, a bit more there, a bit more there. So it's still doing its thing. And I'm going to just zip that across. I'm probably going to end up taking more of this inner arch out so we can get up there to good metal. And then hopefully, once that corner's done, and that outer's done, and that's done, and then all we've got left then welding-wise is that scabby hole there. Which that's like a quick 15-20 minute weld job. And then a bit of body work. And I know he's mentioned a bit on the roof as well, but I've not looked at that bit yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all this bit done, get that all done back, cleaned back, ground back, body worked, get that into some sort of primer, and then I'll drop it down and start climbing ladders, which is always fun. So yeah, Irish Delica update round, what's that now?
42!
It's got to be 42 at least,
42!
hasn't it? Yeah, round,
That's the answer to everything, isn't it?
We'll call it round 42. I'll speak to you later with round 43. Like, share, follow, drop us a comment. Hi, I'll DSP Mechanic. Right, update 43, I think it is now. Yeah, I was putting off this one for a little bit, but my suspicions are confirmed. So, I'm hoping this is going to be the last bodge we find. So, what they've done, splash shield. Yeah, literally it's just a splash shield, not structural. Tied in to cover over a rotten outrigger, which is structural. Lovely. So now I've got to chop all that outrigger out. There's good metal up in there, so that's not too much of an issue. It's just the lower half. But why would you? That up there, that's all just mainly surface, that can be cleaned off. But why would you tie an outrigger into a splash shield? Bear in mind these are a monocoque. They've not got a separate chassis, so all the sill, inner, outer, you know, it all adds to the strength of the vehicle. And what's this splash shield going to do other than just crumple? It's disgusting workmanship, absolutely disgusting. All right, probably not on the same level of life threatening like the chassis legs was, but still disgusting. Never going to have any longevity. Because all them holes in the back of there, yeah, it looked beautiful from this side. You know, that was there like that, look. That was in there like that. So, oh, other way around, but you know what I mean. That was in there like that, so you're never going to ask any questions. But the water is still going to keep getting up from the inside at the back. It's still going to fill up with crap in there, which it was full of sand. That's what it was full of, look. Sand and dirt and all the other crap that was packed inside the inner cell. Talk about cowboy. But give me 2 hours-ish, roughly, and I'll show you how it's meant to look. Like, share, follow, drop us a comment. Catch you later. Hi all, DSP Mechanic. Look, ramp's empty. We can now have a little clean up and tidy up. But if the ramp's empty, that can only mean one thing, can't it? Irish Delica done. We're ready to get the next one on. And look how beautiful she's come out as well. We've really taken this Delica from close to deathbed, would you say? Yeah. Yeah, it was close. One accident, it would have been all over. You've seen all the videos of all the welding it's had. Paint on the bottom half, look. Sills, it's had complete sills from front to rear, inner and outer, rear wheel arches, rear corner, front chassis leg, rear chassis leg, and then we'll go around the back. We've done weld repair on the bottom edge of that tailgate. You can see there under the number plate, well you can't see. Same with this side, it's had pretty much full wheel arch, sill, inner and outer, all the way along. Rear chassis leg, front chassis leg. There's not much that hasn't been touched on it, to be honest. Because I had to laugh because a lot of you know Mark Redfern from the Delica page. He actually messaged the owner saying I'd been on in contact, asking for a steering wheel and a rear window. So because them was the only bits that I hadn't touched on it. Which made me chuckle. But yeah, she's come out so nice. Diesel heater fitted. We've just got it running at the minute. Let's see if I take you around again. Little running, look. There's the FNC. So pleased with this one. I'd say we've knocked a good 20 years off it. Wouldn't you agree? Easy. And we've definitely given it at least another 20 years of life. Yeah. So, yeah, beautiful thing. Very happy. Very happy.
Very tired.
Yeah, very tired. Well, we can't be that tired because probably that one's in next because that's just one chassis leg. And then it's probably going to be that one over there and then the one that's over there and then that one and then that one, that one, that one, that one, that one.
Chassis leg tsunami!
Yeah, we've got a few. But yeah, running the diesel heater for half hour, get the wax all off the exhaust for it. So if they do want to use it, at least it ain't going to stink. And quick clean up inside, she's ready to go. So happy with this one. No reason not to be happy with it, is there really? Got to be one of our biggest achievements, this one. Definitely the biggest with welding repairs. So yeah, thought I'd share that with that because we're happy, so you lot will probably be happy as well. I know a lot of you have been following the progress with this one. And as a quick side note as well, you may have seen I put a post up, that little girl Amelia that passed away recently. They're doing a ride out on the 1st of April. So any of you got bikes, load cars, even normal cars if you want to tag along, we'll be meeting here at the garage at between 11 and half past on the 1st of April, and then we'll have a ride up to the steakhouse and we'll join in on the ride. So I hope to see you there with that one. But otherwise, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, drop us a comment, let us know what you think of this beautiful machine. And other than that, time for a brew? I think so, time for a brew. So, catch you later.